Welcome to John Hardin High School. We're here for week 5 of KHSAA high school football action. The homestanding John Hardin Bulldogs come in at 0-4 behind Coach Doug Preston. And Brent Thompson brings in his North Hardin Trojans at 2-2 on the season. It's crosstown rivalry time tonight, and so we'll renew this clash, this rivalry. Radcliffe versus Radcliffe, John Hardin and North Hardin. We'll do battle tonight. I'm Paul Gray. Alongside me, longtime friend and coaching compatriot Tony Menendez. So, Tony, we've got a crosstown rivalry tonight. Let's just get it out of the way. Give me a prediction here tonight, Tony Menendez.
I mean, it should be obvious that it's going to be North Hardin High School tonight. I wouldn't think anybody would be surprised by that prediction. But when you get these crosstown type games, some things can get chippy, and they sometimes are more physical, and some surprises happen that you generally may not see in the regular seasons against other teams that are not crosstown rivals. But when you get people who know each other, kind of group around the same area, play Little League and those kind of things together, you know, they kind of have a better familiarity with each other. And so sometimes you get some surprises in there. So
we'll see if there are any surprises tonight. Certainly John Hardin has really struggled. The numbers are dismal at this point. In 4 weeks, they have been beaten 199-12, and it's just been a very, very difficult start to the season for Coach Preston. We've called several of their games, Bardstown and Central Hardin, and just a rough road to go. We do see for this John Hardin Bulldog squad the light at the end of the tunnel, relief next week as they go into district action against a much lower quality of opponent than they've played so far, playing teams like Bardstown, Elizabethtown, Central Hardin, and tonight North Hardin. They'll be playing Valley, Moore, and Marion County over the next 3 weeks. One of the things that Coach Preston told me week 1 when we were here watching them play Bardstown, I guess that was week 2, but watching them play Bardstown, was that he just wanted to see his young team, inexperienced team, grow and get better. I don't know if we've seen that. Tony, what should we look for tonight to see if maybe this team is taking strides and maybe they're going to be ready to do some damage in their district, again, which is a slightly lower quality of opponent, where they probably have a chance to do something?
Well, I think as a coach, you always want to be building from the first game of the season. Really, traditionally, you want your first game of the season to be like your worst game of the season. And every game after that is building on those steps that you did in that first game to make yourself successful later on, and finding out like what's working, what's not working, how you can make adjustments, what personnel is working right in the right spots, so that you can be ready for those district games when things like really come and they really count, and you want to like push yourself to get better and better. So hopefully they're seeing some of those mistakes, fixing some of those things, and plugging in the personnel that need to be plugged in to be ready for the district.
So personnel adjustments, one thing. Obviously, one of the things we've noted with this team are just mistakes, and with young players, you're going to see a lot of that, and hopefully they can continue to clean that up. We've seen a lot of penalties that have been very costly. Everything is kind of magnified when you are a team that's struggling, and when you make those errors, they just look so massive. The penalties have been a big issue. The turnovers against Bardstown, they had 5 turnovers. Against Bardstown, they had 2 block punts. Last week against Central Hardin, 3 block punts. So just the kicking game, can they just efficiently have a kicking game, which they really haven't had? Now, we know that on the offensive side of the ball, it's a wing T squad. What does that mean, and what do we expect to see out of a basic wing T look, Tony?
I mean, you should be seeing some jet sweeps. I mean, we had talked early before we even got on air about, like, are they going to start incorporating something like a waggle play? Wing T's offense is really built around the idea of, like, misdirection and causing people to get out of position because of you're building off, like, a very similar play set to throw off the defense, so they're not sure where the ball's going and who's it going to. But because of being such a young team, John's been very vanilla with it. Yeah. And they're going to have to build onto that. You can't go with the really standard bread and butter plays. You got to kind of expand out somewhat.
So on the other side, 2-2 North Hardin, we know what we'll see there. We'll see the spread look again. They kind of eased their new quarterback Jaden Thorpe into it. They were not throwing the ball much earlier in the season. They have picked up the pace, throwing the football, a little more common to see that from this North Hardin squad. And Brent Thompson with the spread look that they run. Quarterback Jaden Thorpe is about 60% passing, 46 to 71. If anybody out there wants to do the math, I'm not going to do it right now, but I know it's over 50%, and it's significantly. It's in the 60 to 65% area. 549 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 4 INTs. Again, maybe he needs to take care of the ball just a little better, but he's been effective. And as we know, Coach Thompson loves to throw the screens. You're going to get easy completions. You're going to get your athletes the ball in space. The 2 losses they have on their schedule are against fantastic teams. Bowling Green has been a perennial power and state champion for years and years and years. And then Manual, a couple weeks ago, we saw that Manual game, and boy, Manual is good. They are loaded, loaded, loaded. They've got to be a top 3 or 4 team in the state of Kentucky. You know, they'll be right there to challenge Trinity, Male, St. X in the state. I can't imagine that they won't be in the mix for that. So they've played some really tough games. Last week was a win at home against Owensboro Apollo, 52-25 victory. Again, similar score to what Central, we project forward to that big Central Hardin matchup late in the season, which is for, district bragging rights and seedings and those kinds of things. And they've both played DeSales to about the same score, 40-something to 6. They both scored 50 points against Apollo and gave up about 20. So, we're not 100% sure how really good North is. We know they're good. When you play Bowling Green to a 23-14 loss, it's a loss nonetheless, but it's obviously something that is not shameful or to hang your head about. So we'll see the spread. They'll feature Kai Boyd at the running back spot. Kai Boyd, we talked about Jaden Thorpe at quarterback and his passing. Kai Boyd, their leading rusher, 58 carries for 368 yards in 4 games, so not quite 100 yards a game. I believe that's 92 yards a game for Kai Boyd, and so we'll look for big number 22 to have a big impact on this game. So those are the key players for both sides. Those are that's what to look for tonight. Again, Tony and I coached together from 08 to 10 with Coach Lawson at Central Hardin, so we're old buddies. That we called the defense together. We'll try not to reminisce too much through the evening, but certainly if this thing goes the direction we think that might happen, because we'll be looking for things to talk about. Hopefully this John Hardin squad can just be more mistake-free than what we've seen so far.
I think for North, maybe their bigger key from this game is to just make sure they're getting everything cleaned up that they feel like they need to get cleaned up.
Yeah.
As a team, are they performing at a high level? Are they doing their assignments right? That's what the coaches should be looking for. With a game that may be lopsided, are they doing what they're supposed to do?
Jake Owens kicks it away. It's going to go into the end zone, so North Hardin will start at the 20-yard line. They had Sean Rose and Sean Boykin back deep to receive, but Jake Owen knocks it. Jake Owen, one of the bright spots for this squad, a very good kicker, so very talented kicker, and we'll see what kind of action he'll see this evening. Just to let you know, as far as them cleaning things up, they've got Boyle County next week, who is a top 10 team in the state of Kentucky as well, so North Hardin's got their work cut out for them next week. That will be on the road down in Danville at Boyle County High School. So North Hardin comes out in their spread look. It's a pistol look with Kai Boyd right behind Jaden Thorpe. That's number 5 and number 22 in the backfield. 4 wide receivers spread across the field. It's a 3-man front for John Hardin. They're trying to bring pressure with all kinds of time. Thorpe deep. Sean Boykin open. He gathers it in. And it's an 80-yard touchdown on the first play of the game. The clock, for some reason, didn't run on that play. Maybe they should call it back, Tony, because the clock never started. I'm sure that everybody would like that.
I think it went by too fast what just happened. That's what happened.
Oh, my goodness. Jaden Thorpe, 1 for 1, 80 yards and a touchdown. Wow.
I mean, he had
what a start.
All day in the backfield to sit back there and wait for that play to open up. I mean, there was no pressure whatsoever up front from John Harding getting towards.
Yeah, that 3-man front, there's nothing wrong with doing that, but you probably need to bring pressure with one of your linebackers. It was number 24 in coverage. Jabari Rashid is up to kick the extra point. It's blocked. So pressure inside. I couldn't see who got their hand on it. Might have been number 51 in there for the John Hardin Bulldogs. I'm not sure who number 51 is. Tony will get that for us. But as I was saying, it was Sean Boykins, number 3. Will Adams, yes, the Adams brothers. There are 3 of those, Jacob, Malcolm, and Will. So 51, Will, the junior, able to get in there and get the block, I believe. It was kind of hard to see exactly who had their hand on it. But, as you were mentioning, just no pressure on the quarterback that time. Jaden Thorpe just very comfortable, stands in and throws it. It was number 24 in coverage for John Harden. And he was just trailing the whole time.
It went so quick I couldn't even tell if they were in a zone or a man look. But I mean,
well, if it was, it had to have been a man look. It should have been zone, but the safety was up. That was the corner. 24 was the corner in coverage there, and he was just got run by. That's Cam McFadden. He's a sophomore, number 24, and so Sean Boykins was able to take advantage of that matchup.
I don't know if he was coming up like a robber look or what he was doing, or if he maybe just did not do his assignment right.
We'll check that next time they go out on defense and see if he was truly playing corner or safety. But beaten in the matchup with Boykins. Back deep, Layson Anderson, number 3, and Cavalli Pittman, number 4 for the Bulldogs. Rashid will kick it off. That ball is going to be taken at the 3-yard line by Layson Anderson. Anderson has a little space, but, boy, North Hardin is going to get there in a hurry.
Yeah, they are.
17-yard line is where, in the right hash, is where the Bulldogs will take over, 1st and 10.
And it looks like, it's hard to see right now, number 9 got in there on the tackle first for North Hardin. Isaiah Gosa.
His older brother was a heck of a football player and basketball player.
So let's see what John Hardin does here.
So, again, wing T look is what we'll see in as Tony called it, vanilla look. Wide receiver left, tight end, wing to the right. It's wing right formation, motion deep.
I mean, North's got everyone in the box.
That's the cross trap that you're going to see on the weak side of the formation. That is number 5 with the football. That's Machiavelli Rozier. We'll see him a lot with the football from that fullback position. He's going to pick up. We're going to give him 2 yards on the carry. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 8.
I want to see it was a 5-3 that shifted to like a 6-2 front. Like they're not even.
They know they're not going to see the passing game. They know they're going to see a lot of inside run.
Yeah, they're backers.
It's a 6 front.
Yeah.
6-2 man cover look. Reverse. They've got some space. Cavalli Pittman with the ball, but just closed on in a hurry. I think they're going to get a helmet-to-helmet, Tony.
Number 7 on North was in there on the tackle.
Roderick Reese. Yeah, that's Roderick Reese on that tackle. I think they're going to call him for a helmet-to-helmet.
But I think it was number 12 who got the helmet-to-helmet.
Is it 12 that got the call?
I think Reese got in there on the tackle early, and then there was just a follow-up.
That's Travion Ross, number 12, called for the helmet-to-helmet contact. So there was no gain on the play on the reverse to Pittman. But they're going to pick up a 1st down based on the personal foul call. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 41, set on the left hash. Under center this week is Jabari Wilson, the junior, is at quarterback. They've had Austin Richardson in his absence playing the freshman quarterback, number 6. Again, they're going to give to Machiavelli Rozier over the left side on just that give to the left, and he's going to pick up about 2 again, 2nd down and 8. They just don't want bad plays. If they can avoid bad plays and keep moving forward here, I think Coach Preston will be pleased with that. That is progress. They had 33 yards of offense last week total against Central Hardin, one of those on a late 50-yard run. So they were in the hole other than that one run against late against some of the backups for the Bruins.
Well, if you look at the defense for North, everyone's body is turned inside for the run.
Oh, absolutely. Number 50, A.J. Rozier couldn't quite make the play. A good run there. Is that Pittman with the carry? He'll pick up a couple yards on that one. So
it looked like Roderick Reese came in on that tackle first and then followed up by Travion Ross.
Yeah, Travion Ross, that's the 2 that combined for the tackle on this side. Again, that's the outside linebacker and the safety, the corner on the left side.
So it looks like all their runs have been to the loaded side away from the receiver.
So 9:39 remaining in the first quarter, 6-0 Trojans. Wing left formation, base wing T formation here. They're going to go with the buck sweep again. Pittman's going to pick up maybe 1.5 yards. We'll give him 2 to be generous. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 5. Maybe 4th down and 5. So
they're bringing out the punting unit. Hopefully this time they've figured out to not give up that pressure.
So they didn't go backwards, which they did a bunch against Central Hardin. If they can continue to run the football and maybe lean on this North Hardin squad, they might be able to get something going here. It'll be Jake Owens back. He's set at about 13 yards, which is a good distance. We'll see if – they're going to pick not quite pick. He may go for it, though. They do a snap down into a three-point stance, and North Hardin jumps offside. So bringing out all the stops, Tony, in the big rivalry game.
So do you go for another – do you punt here or do you try to get them to jump
go
again?
for it, Tony. It's a rivalry. Hey, they're the underdog. It brings up a 4th and less than a yard. The nose of the football sitting right at the 50-yard line. They don't even have to get to the 49 to pick this up. It's less than a yard. It's about 1.5 feet that they need to pick up here. So they give themselves an opportunity. I got to feel like they're going to go to Machiavelli Rozier again over the left side. And they are. And there's Ruggiero.
It looks like he's going to get the first down.
He did get it, I think. Yeah, Rozier breaks the tackle.
Yep, looks like from the marking of the sideline rep that they got that first.
So Machiavelli Rozier with a 1-yard gain to get the first down there. Big number 5 at fullback is someone who will be carrying the load tonight, Machiavelli Rozier.
And we said there could be surprises tonight. There was a surprise right there.
Absolutely. So senior number 5, there's only a few seniors on this squad that are really seeing significant action, and they're going to ride their senior, Machiavelli Rozier, number 5. As the last couple weeks they've started going more and more to giving him the football. Again, he's in the backfield with 2 freshmen, Anderson and Pittman. They're going to go to Pittman. Wow.
There was
4-yard loss. Trying to read the number there. It looks like 88 for 88. North Hardin. Julius Evans, number 88, just went through. Again, when you're running a lot of trap-type plays like that play was, people can just get run-throughs and hit you in the backfield, and that's exactly what happened there. Unblocked player just back there. So a 4-yard loss for Pittman. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 14. And straight ahead to the fullback. Wow, good gain of about 5 yards as Rozier picks that back up. What they lost, they get back.
They got the defense peeking in the backfield with that coming across the other way.
That's that misdirection you were talking about, how you have the deep motion and you've got guys going different directions at the snap. And so that's what the wing tee is meant to do, is to cause you to get confused about where the football is going. Again, if you read your keys and your discipline, it's not a problem. But if you're not disciplined, like you said, if your eyes are in the backfield and just following what's happening back there, it can get a little confusing. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10, though, from the 48-yard line. See if they're willing to throw it. They're going fullback again. Good run by Rozier. Picks up about 5 or 6. It's going to bring up a 4th and 4, maybe.
And it was the same play, and they peeking in the backfield instead of reading the assignments.
They're doing a good job of at least shielding. They're not getting big smashing blocks up front, but they're doing a good job of getting on the guy, shielding where the ball is going. And if they can split the line of scrimmage again against this 6'2 front, the next guy there is the safety. So with 6:26 to go, 4th and 5, they're going for it from the 43-yard line. They're going to go reverse to number 16. They've got some space outside.
Nice on the outside. Can he get it?
He missed it by a yard. Holy cow, man. That was number 16 for the John Hardin Bulldogs. We're trying to find him. I have not seen him get carries. That's Derek Hardiman, sophomore wide receiver. So Hardiman picks up 4 and was not enough to pick up the first down. So Derek Hardiman just short of the first down. Trojans will take over
but if I'm John,
from the 39.
I'm looking at it as a positive series.
Absolutely. A couple first downs. Boy, they almost had that one there. That was a good-looking play and just did not quite get to the first down mark. A 4-yard gain for Hardiman. It looked like they went off early there, but there's Boyd with the football, getting out wide. He's got about 9 yards. A good tackle there by number 24 again. Cam McFadden making the tackle. He is the corner, so that was him matched up on Sean Boykins from the corner position. He's switching sides now, corner with number 18, so he'll be up on the top side. 2 wide receivers left, a slot to the right. Thorpe in the shotgun. Play action look. Looking at the out route, and that ball is well underthrown. He's looking for number 2 there. That's Sean Rose.
And number 3 had decent coverage and did a good job of doing underneath and over top coverage. And they did not want to let it. Was that Boykin to get
absolutely
open all by himself again?
Number 11 on the other side was Devin Seeley, and down here was Sean Boykin on the bottoms of the formation, the right side of the North Hardin formation.
If I was north here, I'd go for a screen. They're playing so far off the line of scrimmage with those corners.
3rd and 2, they'll probably give to Kai Boyd, and they are going to do that, and he's got tons of room. Beautifully blocked, and he's going to pick up about 11 yards on the run. So he's got runs of 8 and 11, and that'll be a 1st and 10 into John Hardin Bulldog territory. 1st and 10 from the 41. 5:18 to go, 6-0 Trojans.
And they're just steadily moving it.
Again, they might want to run the ball a little more this week. They've got a tight bunch formation to the right-hand side, to the short side of the field. Seeley to the left. They'll give to Boyd all kinds of space. He's not even really running. He's going to run over a couple of defenders there.
It's like 51 got him down for John Hardin.
He is right at the marker. They're going to
Will Adams again on the tackle.
Will Adams on the tackle there. About an 8-yard gain again for Kai Boyd. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 2. They're struggling with the marker over there. It's got a 4 on it. It's 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, it should be 2nd.
Yeah, they're struggling with the marker over on the other side. I'm not sure why. Quickly going again, Boyd sidestepping some defenders. He's going to get to the 31. Boy, that's right on the marker. We'll see if he picked up the 1st down or if he's just short. I think they're marking him just short, Tony, so a gain of 1 by Boyd.
Half a yard maybe off it?
Maybe a half a yard to go. So it'll be 3rd down and a yard with 5:03 and counting here in the first quarter. If North didn't get it here, which I think they will, you'd think they'd go again. 3-man front for the Bulldogs, and they'll be drawn off sides this time. So we've seen that ploy a couple times for both sides. And that 5-yard penalty, again, we're talking about mistakes, and that's the first one we've really seen from this Bulldog squad to give up a 1st down. So 1st and 10 now at the 27-yard line of the Bulldogs. Number 23, Caden Chitwood, is checked in at outside linebacker for the Bulldogs. Thorpe, Boyd in the backfield. Play action look down the middle again. Boykins, he's overthrown this time. The same situation, Tony, running that. And again, that is man cover. That's the corner chasing Boykins.
They're putting basically a man on each guy and having the safety even come up.
I don't understand that kind of coverage there because you're only rushing 3. And if you're going to go man, you might as well bring some blitzers and put a little pressure on the quarterback, which they're not doing. So you've got a man cover look. Again, 4 wide.
11's playing so far up. I guess he's just completely reading the screen.
Boyd doing a beautiful job. Oh, there's going to be a flag. He hasn't thrown a flag. He showed the football to – are they saying he stepped out of bounds? I don't see a touchdown signal. He did step out of bounds at the 5-yard line, so a 23-yard gain for Kai Boyd on the carry. He was really patient on that run, Tony.
Yeah, he was.
Just hanging out in the backfield, waiting for it to open up. It opens up, and he's around the right side. He's not even running at top speed. He's finding the lane to run and then trying to explode. So 1st and goal from the 5, 4:32 remaining there. He showed the ball to the defender. Trips formation to the left. They're very wide, which to me means they're running the football. And there it goes, Boyd straight ahead.
Zone run on the inside.
Inside zone for about 3. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 2. And, Tony, what I'm talking about there is when you see receivers that are split so wide, it's usually to take the defenders and spread them out so you can run the football. And when it looks unnaturally wide as far as their splits are concerned, that's usually a key.
Defenses want to compress the offense. And when you're
going offenses want to spread the defense. Give to Boyd, sidestep, power, touchdown. Kai Boyd So Kai Boyd getting into the act here with a 2-yard touchdown run. And so that's already his 8th carry on the ball game. And so Kai Boyd is the workhorse right now. 3:59 to go here in the first quarter. It is 12-0. For some reason, they've put 11 on the board for there it is.
There we go.
Taking that back off. Jabari Rashid on to attempt the point after. Checking inside, protection much better, and Rashid pulls it left. So these are mistakes by the Trojans. It really could cost them in the future.
And that's why I said this game should be about cleaning things up.
And that was not clean.
No.
All right. This is a Hardin County Education and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunications needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, and South Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Winding Springs Luxury Living, located in Elizabethtown on Nicholas Street. Now leasing brand new apartments and condos. Also available is Black Branch Self-Storage. For all your storage needs, call 2707-661155 today to make an appointment or visit WindingSpringsEtown.com and BlackBranchStorage.com. So Rashid will line it up at the 40 to kick off. Again, it's Anderson and Pittman back deep for the Bulldogs. 3:59 to go in the first, and it's 12-0 crosstown rivalry. This thing has gone back and forth for years as far as who has the better team. For several years, it was John Hardin. Over the last 4 or 5, it's been North Hardin. So the dominance, North Hardin looking to continue that crosstown dominance. Pittman will catch it in the end zone, so that will be a touchback. The Bulldogs will take over at their own 20-yard line.
And I'm not sure about 100% about North running this 6-2 look. I know they're not really expecting John to do anything but run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if that's not your base look, maybe you want to go to your base to get some looks and see what works out of your base against like a team that's going to run most of the time.
Well, look at them right now. Now they're covering the center. So it's a little different in this set. So I think they are mixing it up some. There's a short carry for about a yard. Again, it's Machiavelli Rozier on the carry as he's doing the workload for these guys. So that time they had number 59, I believe, for North Hardin over the football in a nose guard position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They may be in a 5 front. Now let's take a look and see if they move another guy up on the line of scrimmage. No, they've – this is their 4 look, Tony. This is their 4 look with the 2 outside linebackers way out wide and on the line of scrimmage. So Jabari Wilson trying to keep the football that time. He's going to lose about 4 yards on that keeper. And
it's almost like they're looking like they're in a zero blitz package that's just coming up and just reading.
Yeah.
And not blitzing.
Yeah, and they're moving that one technique around. He's playing over the guard sometimes, over the nose, over in the nose position, over the center sometimes. So they're moving the line up and down a little bit. And see now this is that's their 4 front with 2 outside backers walked up. Going to Pittman, and Pittman's going to lose a couple more yards. So again, going backwards. This is what we saw last week against Central Hardin, unable to get anything going north and south, and so another loss of 2 by Pittman here brings up 4th and 14, and it's Jake Owens back on the field to kick the ball away. And again, this is one of the scariest moments for this Bulldog squad, are these punts, because they just haven't been able to get them off very consistently.
Now, if they get it off, what's going to happen?
Well, back deep is Sean Boykins, number 3, and so if he can field it cleanly, that could be dangerous. We saw in week 1, Tony, the John Hardin coverage squad was not on a full sprint against Barstow. We'll see if their effort is a little better. Boy, that one was nearly blocked. May have gotten a piece of it, actually. Boykins is going to field it. Going to make one man miss, but he's tackled. Beautiful job covering.
Good coverage.
Number 19 for the Bulldogs.
King Martin.
Who is that?
King Martin.
King Martin, number 19 on the play. So that's King Martin, sophomore wide receiver and defensive back getting down the field in a hurry to make the play. So with 1:51 to go, it's 12-0 Trojans, and they've got the ball back. We haven't called number 53, Solomon Bennett's name yet. He's been one of their best players defensively. And their other linebacker, number 25, T.J. Williams, who's had such a stellar week last week against Central Hardin. Well, they don't have the chain set up correctly here. Chain crew is struggling. There's motion by Kai Boyd out of the backfield. Empty backfield set, looking deep. He's just got all kinds of time. Thorpe is going to look downfield. Ronald Lunds is going to come up with it at about the 21-yard line. So Lunds makes the catch.
Now, if John could have got some pressure there, it would have been great. Their defensive backs were in good position for most of that play, but when you have that long to be able to, like, string a play out, somebody's going to finally break down and get open.
So we've got two wide receivers to each side. Pistol look with Kai Boyd right behind Jaden Thorpe. Again, all the time in the world. Down the middle of the field looking for Sean Rose. There's a flag called as number 7 had a hold of the back of Sean Rose's. That's Dante Jones that was in coverage. Had the back of Rose's jersey, and that's going to be a holding call on the defense. So that'll be another first down for this North Hardin squad and put them in the red zone.
Yep. And I'm not sure what the route level was on that. It looked like the slots were doing a stop and go.
So, Tony, explain to me what's going on out here, because you're only bringing 3 rushers. You're playing man cover. What are the other 3 or 4 guys on the field doing? Are they dropping into some kind of a zone look? Because you're playing straight man but not bringing any pressure. That is something I never see. Kai Boyd straight ahead there. They have the football at the 9-yard line, first and goal. He only gets about 2 yards there. There's Solomon Bennett, 53 on the play, 7 Dante Jones on the play as well.
When they go to that pistol look and they have the 2 slots and the 2 receivers out wide, the backers are both coming all the way up to the line of scrimmage with their hips turned inside like they're playing just for the screen.
Yeah, okay.
And hoping that, like, they don't throw the screen on them, and then it was everybody else out of position.
Maybe that's why we're not seeing the screen thrown. 3 backs in the backfield this time. They are going to throw it. They're going to Seeley. Seeley trying to go. Good defensive play. That's number 19, King Martin, playing defense out there on the corner on Devin Seeley. So they just went to the fade on that one. 3rd and goal from the 8.
They got some pressure in there. The running back, 22, was able to pick it up there at the last second.
So that was Kai Boyd on the protection. Number 23, who's a defensive standout, Mason Howard, is in the slot for North Hardin tonight. I haven't seen him playing on the offensive side of the ball, but 23, Mason Howard, he's going to check out now, and it's Lund's going to check back in. Ronald Lunds is a phenomenal player. His older brother Michael was fantastic. So Boyd off the left side. He's got space. He might get to the zone. Touchdown. Kai Boyd. 8-yard run. So an opportunity to get a stop there goes by the wayside as Boyd is able to break one tackle and get it into the end zone. Just a simple inside zone that he bounced.
Yep. And no one's there to even touch him once he got that first cut.
So with 32 seconds to go in the first quarter, 18-0 Trojans, and after missing a couple of extra points, they're going to go ahead and go for a 2-point conversion here. Empty backfield, 5 wide, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. It's going to be quarterback draw. Easily in is Jaden Thorpe, untouched for Thorpe, so he'll pick up a 2-yard conversion. So 2-point conversion, 20-0 Trojans with 32 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling is a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service with a friendly staff available for your recycling needs. Located in Elizabethtown on 31W, just south of exit 91 on Interstate 65. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrapping metal and recycling. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned, family-run pest control company. Has been serving Hardin, Meade, Grayson, and Nelson counties and surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. Whatever your pest control issues are, termites, spiders, crickets, general pests, even moles, their team has the knowledge, skill, and training to safely and effectively eliminate the problem. Call 270-6900 or go online at mugabug.com. So here we are, Tony, 20-0. It's the first quarter. We knew we had made this prediction. You predicted that very easily, very early. We hope to see, and honestly, John has looked a little better in spots here, but just not even near the level of what they're playing. Hopefully next week at Valley, they'll be in a similar talent pool and have a good opportunity to get off the schneid, so to speak. So Jabari Rashid to put it into play, and that one is going to be into the end zone. So the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. We'll see if Coach has anything else. We've seen a couple of small wrinkles that were successful on the first drive.
They got a punt off.
They got a punt. Yeah, they've gotten a punt off.
And good coverage on it.
Good coverage. So, yeah, they have made some strides there, absolutely. Getting that Bardstown game, and it looked like they were strolling down the field to try to make the tackle on a punt. They were quickly down the field on the last one. So, I think we have a clock problem. Referee pointing somewhere. Maybe not at the. So a clock issue. They're going to stop for just a moment here. The referee pointing at the clock and making hand signals here. I don't know if anybody up here can see it. I can't see what he's doing, but
I wonder if there was an accident where they started the continuous clock.
Well, I think they just started it on the kick and let it keep running. When it was downed in the end zone, it should have stopped. So right now they've got it at 23. I think they're trying to go back to 32 seconds. The official is still just going to hold here until they get the clock reset. John Harden's ready to run a play, but not time yet. Not 23, 32. Yeah, I think our clock. There it is. Clock operator thought he said it was signaling 23, but he was signaling 32. So now we've got it all squared away, and John Harden will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. King Martin is out to the left. They've got an overbalanced set, an overset to the left. They're going to run it straight ahead again. They're going to pick up about 2 with Machiavelli Rozier. And, I got to think, and again, he knows, Coach Preston knows he's got to keep it fairly simple. I got to think that the John Harden fans are like, can we do something else? But no, really they can't. They can't. Is going to be the thing. And maybe Coach is working on some things and some wrinkles for district play to try to expand on what they've been doing. The clock is going to run out here in quarter number 1. North Hardin Trojans 20. Homestanding John Harden Bulldogs 0. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. Is there anything, Tony, that you see offensively that you'd love to see Coach Preston do here with this squad?
I think if you're gonna be vanilla, you still need to work in some other things. I mean, the game may be a game that's out of reach.
Right.
So why not work on some of those plays that you plan to expand on in the future? There's no reason not to try them out. See how they do running. The most basic pass play out of wing T is waggle. How does your quarterback react to it? See what he can do. See how the receivers run routes. I mean, maybe try some more jet sweep action, getting the guy the ball on the sweep. They had success for it one time. They almost got a first down out of it. But if you keep doing the same play, I mean,
obviously they're getting positive yards, but it's just 1 or 2 at a time. And there's King Martin reporting back to the left side at his split end position, but not ready. And John Harden will have to take a timeout coming out of the quarter break. That is a little bit frustrating. Someone is not on the field. Coach Preston seems like he's looking into his players to see who are we missing. I think they may have been missing a wing or slot in this wing T look here. This is an HCEC-TV student production, a division of Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, Winding Springs Luxury Living, and Black Branch Self-Storage, West Point Bank, and E-Town Exterminating. Tune in weekly for all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Channel 184. All HCEC-TV programs on the HCEC-TV YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel today to get your local community sports and events. Special thanks to our HCEC-TV crew. That's Ron Hartley in the truck and students Kyler Barkley, Alejandra Dunaway, Matthew Goins, and River Perry. So thanks to all of our students and Ron for bringing us the action. So the overbounds look, toss sweep to Layson Anderson, and nothing there, man. That's Mason Howard, 23 there in a hurry.
And he couldn't even do anything on that play.
So they started to 20. They're going to lose 4 there on the toss sweep to Layson Anderson. No opportunity to get anything going there for Layson. That's his first carry of the ball game. He's been kind of their workhorse, kind of giving the ball to Machiavelli-Rozier tonight and Cavalli Pittman as well. We'll see if they give the ball to Anderson a little more. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 14 for the Bulldogs.
Marked as a 3rd down.
Yeah, the markers messed up, and so was the scoreboard. Scoreboard says 2nd and 8, but 2nd and 14. So it's really kind of hard to figure out what's going on here. We got a trips formation. Look at this. Tight end left, trips right. And it was going to be, it looks like, some sort of quarterback keep by Jabari Wilson to the weak side of the formation.
And I think John called another timeout.
Well, that's interesting. So we're 10:59 to go in the second quarter. In the last minute, we've had the first quarter break and 2 timeouts by John Harden back-to-back. So something's not quite right.
I think one of the guys, and it may be just, a young player not realizing that they have to be on the line or off the line. And I think somebody was off that was supposed to be on, and the ball was getting ready to get snapped.
Listen, that's not hard to figure out. Practice time you ought to be able to handle getting guys lined up, getting guys subbed in and out. They've got to get those things figured out. Now, it's interesting to note here, Coach Preston talking to number 54, Damian Lyons, the sophomore, but he's the biggest offensive lineman. Looks like he's kind of the leader. He's communicating with a couple of his offensive linemen there as well. And now we have overbalanced trips to the left. The tight end was on the wrong side last time. It's going to be a give-off tackle. Nothing there. A.J. Ruggiero, number 50, there to stuff that run. So that's about a -1 carry for Machiavelli-Rozier.
So we're going to be looking at another punt here with 4th and looks like 15.
So here comes Jake Owens again. He gets a lot of work, Tony. Hopefully, again, they'll protect and cover well like they did on the last one. But, again, it was fairly close to getting blocked again. Jeff and I in the past have talked about how we don't think the ball is getting back there in a very timely fashion. And maybe Jake ought to go to a 2-step kick instead of a 3-step kick, because that just getting the ball out of there is going to be important. There's a 2-step kick. That's beautifully done, and it's kicked away. Boykins has it. Beats Machiavelli-Rozier, makes a cut, but Rozier's back to make the tackle. He and King Martin combine for that tackle.
Starting off on John Harden's 35, and that is not a good thing for John.
So as Tony mentioned, North Hardin will take over deep in Bulldog territory with 10:07 to go here in the second quarter. And Kai Boyd has been feasting on this John Harden defense. We'll see if that continues. I've got right now Jaden Thorpe has 2 of 4 passing. He missed a long one down the middle to Boykins, missed an out route. But he's been able to hit Ronald Lunds and Boykin. Boykin on the first play of the game for an 80-yard touchdown. So 3 backs in the backfield here.
I think we
oh, my goodness. We're going to take a flea flicker here and take a shot. Sean Rose down the side. He dropped it. Wow, he bobbled it for about 5 yards, didn't he?
Yeah, but good coverage by number, I think it's 18.
Can't see my papers anymore because the lights aren't on here in the press box right now. Can you see who number? No, they can turn them on. They will here probably at the half. Man, I can't see who number 18 was. I'm half blind, people. That's what happens when you're 52 years old.
I believe we used to call that package blue when we ran it, when you had the 3 backs in the backfield.
Okay. So quarterback draw again. Thorpe up the middle, breaking tackles. He's got 12, almost 15 yards there. He'll be stopped after a gain of 13 yards. So Jaden Thorpe on the carry. They went empty. This is the second time they've gone empty and then run that quarterback draw, Tony.
Yeah, they had real big success on that 2-point conversion. It was like the seas parted when he ran last time because of them going out in that wide coverage. And with them having those safeties come up, I mean, if he can get past the 2 linebackers in the middle, there's nobody behind them to stop him. All right, now 12's pulling over.
Yeah, he's coming over to the trip side, but that leaves them one-on-one on that right-hand side. They need to go to this right-hand side if you're the Trojans. You've got one-on-one looks, and there's a touchdown easily straight down the middle of the field. So, they went to that right side because they had no safety there. That's number 2, Sean Rose, for the 22-yard touchdown reception.
And they played that thing where they're having that outside linebacker just sit as if he's sitting to stop a screen passer and come in there.
Yeah.
He's not dropping back in coverage. He's sitting there for the screen, and then he takes maybe 1 or 2 steps and is trying to read run.
He expected someone to be behind him.
And
nobody there.
Nobody's
so
there.
they had 2 deep safeties to start the play, and when they saw trips to the one side,
they completely shifted
over.
And
the problem was it was an empty
there.
situation. Yeah, nobody there to play the right side, and so that shift is great against trips. If there's one receiver to the other side, you can't make that kind of shift against two receivers to the weak side when you've got an empty look.
And you don't need that mismatch. You don't want an outside linebacker on a slot receiver.
Yeah.
And
he wasn't even in coverage. Like you said, I think what John is doing is exactly what you said, and they're sitting on those
on the screen.
On the screens. And notice North hasn't thrown a screen yet.
And
they'll throw 8 or 10 a game
you would
usually.
think they would change the defense.
They have to.
I mean, you have to say, look, we're going to go back to a base defense, even if they're going to run a 3-5, not like that, because you're just letting North pick
Tony.
at you.
We're going to pick at Coach Preston a little bit there and say, hey, don't take, you need to make an adjustment, which he does. But when we played against these guys and they were trying to screen us to death, we designed some defenses strictly to stop the screen. Now, the thing is at the time, their offensive coordinator still threw about 10 to 12 screens, which we hit every single one of them right in the mouth, and they got nothing out of them. So now the difference is tonight they're not throwing the screens.
Well, and we had some really good corners.
We weren't bad. It was at Casey Hobson and Tristan Long. So those guys were pretty solid out there and were doing a good job for us. So Jabari Rashid, after another missed extra point, it's 26-0, is going to kick it to the 2. It's in play.
A live ball. He
Pittman picks it up.
And that is
wow. They're going to have it at the 5.
I think they got a face mask call there.
Ooh, that's a bailout. Wow. So, again, he's trying to catch the ball as Cavalli Pittman at the 3-yard line, misses it. It goes into the end zone. It's not dead when you've touched it.
No, it's a live ball at that point. You got to pick it up and go.
He hesitated for a minute. This is a freshman football player who may not know it.
He saw a roll into the end zone. I was like, oh. And he looked at the ref for half a moment. It's like, that's a live ball. You got to go. You got to go.
Yeah, you got to go. And so he picks it up, and, well, fortunately, there's a 15-yard face mask penalty that'll put the ball back at the 20. So John Harden will take over 1st and 10 there with 9 minutes to go, down 26-0 here in the second quarter. Spreading out a little. No, this is still the 4-man front with the outside linebackers walked right up on the line for the Trojans. Give is inside on the scissors trap, and maybe a yard for Layson Anderson, number 3. Fake fullback, run one way, come back the other way with the inside handoff to the wing. And there was a fumble on the play. Layson Anderson was separated from the ball, and so the Trojans have it back.
I remember LaRue County used to love running that scissors play for a long time.
Yes.
That was one of their bread and butter things. Their wing tee featured the scissor.
Absolutely. We always had to have our outside linebacker learn to play underneath the trap block to be able to make the play on that. So John Harden trying to substitute right here at the last second. They're going to have to call a timeout because they don't have the right personnel on the field again there. So they're out now. Out of timeouts.
I mean, they had no one
on the wide receiver to the right. Yeah. The corner had not checked back into the game. So now, again, we've seen some things that are areas of improvement, but they're struggling right now to get people subbed in and out into positions where they need to be. Like you said pregame, maybe they're finding different personnel groupings or they're trying to figure out personnel. So maybe it's some guys that are new or different, but I think you got to be able to get your personnel on the field.
Yeah, and they're still using that same defense. And if I was North, I would go empty.
I mean,
and spread them out.
Yeah, it's just going to give you all kinds of options.
There's no one over top, and you can run that quarterback draw play all game if you
exactly.
wanted to.
And if they
or you could even swing out with your quarterback and have him run a touchdown because there's nobody there on the wings because the wings are wide open.
All right, let's see what they do. They are going to go to that look, and they are making an adjustment here. They have made an adjustment. They go to more of a 4-1 look, and they are still in a man look. Good coverage, good adjustment. There's a penalty flag down on a hold as Jaden Thorpe is going to pick up about 12 yards on the scramble. That will come back. So there you go.
That's what they needed to do.
Nicely done. So they took the linebacker, who is Machiavelli Rozier, took him out to the trips receiver side to give an extra linebacker in coverage. They took one of the other linebackers and moved him back on the hash to a safety spot so that they had all those bases covered. So they're playing man, and they've got extra guys in coverage. Holding call, so good adjustment by the Bulldog coaches. So, wow, first and a lot. First and 25 from the 36-yard line. Play action pass looking for Boykins. Oh, my God.
Wide open.
Wide open for the 36-yard touchdown.
Bit on the single inside step, and I guess he thought he was going to run a fade route.
Well, what it really looked like to me is there was a cross between Boykin on the outside running the post and the inside receiver running the corner route. And both defenders chased the corner route, and no one chased the so that's a communication situation. And just not understanding when you're in man coverage, you stay with that guy. That's not a hard concept.
That's
So Rashid on. Let's see if they can knock one through. 32-0 is the score with 8:35 to go in the second. The kick is up. He drilled that one.
They almost got it blocked, though.
And, yeah, the pressure again, but the extra point is good. 33 now to nothing. Trojans in front. We would also like to thank NHHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NFHS.com to subscribe today. So let me just share with you, Tony. I'm a subscriber to NFHS, and I'm watching it right now, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
I've got a game on just like I did last week. This is my nephew's team in Marietta, Georgia. Marietta tonight is playing Walton. By the way, Walton has a quarterback that I believe is a commit to Alabama, and I saw the dude play about 4 weeks ago, and he will light up the scoreboard. Hopefully not tonight against Marietta, but, that guy's good.
So I think you need to go back to your defensive concepts. If you're in man, it should not be complicated to the coverage man.
Absolutely.
You have your guy.
Yeah.
You stay with your guy.
And the only thing that could cause a problem is you and your teammate getting tangled up on a cross.
I know, like on a cross or a mesh route,
right.
you can maybe get rubbed, which takes you off of your coverage some. But
that didn't happen.
That didn't happen. He just they both left.
They both chased one guy, and the other guy was uncovered. So Boykin had an easy score on that one. Pittman at the 3. Wow. Great coverage. Mason Howard, number 23 there.
Looks like it's
to
on
slam
18.
the door. I believe that was number 9 as well. That's Gosa again helping Howard on the tackle. And you're right. I think that's the 16 or 17-yard line where the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10. Again, 8:29 to go, 33-0, and we're just asking for mercy right now. One more score for the Trojans, and we'll be at a running clock. And it's unfortunate, but it certainly is something that they'll need. Double wing formation, tight end left. They're going to sprint out and throw. The quick throw to Pittman out of the from the slot or wing position. Good throw and catch. And that's the first attempt for Jabari Wilson on the game tonight. And a good pickup of about 7 or 8 yards. Let's see where they're going to spot it. 7-yard gain there. So nice job, Jabari Wilson.
That's the play I asked for.
It's just a sprint out, and the thing they had was a couple guys out in front to block to make sure that Wilson was protected. The fullback leading, the guy who was in motion, deep motion, leading to both block. Again to the fullback straight ahead. Good run by Machiavelli Rozier. Boy, that I think they're just a half a yard short, so about a 3-yard carry from Machiavelli-Rozier will bring up 3rd down in inches for this Bulldog squad. So if they can mix it up like that with plays that have been successful, like that X-Buck that they're running to the short, to the split end side, along with rollout passes like you just saw, certainly they can be successful here. King Martin is going to be the split end out to the right. Wing formation, traditional wing T look to the left. Again, that 4-4 look straight ahead, I believe, on the fullback trap, and Rozier is going to pick up the first down. Yeah, he got 2 yards on the play, so first down, and again, clock running. So if you can run, well, it's going to stop for the moving of the chains, but they'll get the clock going again here, and when you can keep possession and keep the other team off the field, that's the thing to do.
But I think if you can't throw the ball, then you better just be the most dominating running attack.
They just don't have the ability to do that with the guys up front. They're a little small up front. They've got some young guys up front, so that's making that difficult. Fake to the fullback. Nice ball handling. And, yeah, good run there for about 6 or 7 yards. Number 16 with the football, Derek Hardiman, his 2nd carry, and he's got 10 yards on 2 carries, Tony.
23 did a really good job for North on that pursuit drill. I mean, he cut across the field.
Mason Howard, the outside linebacker, did a good job getting there. 6:48 and counting, 33-0 Trojans. Split out now wide is Chitwood. That's Caden Chitwood, number 23, out here at the split end position. Anderson deep motion they're going to give to Machiavelli-Rozier straight ahead again. He's going to pick up the first down. So
good job pushing some guys ahead too on that.
So 4-yard gain and a couple first downs now for the Bulldogs, and got to be feeling a little better about some things that they're executing now.
I did think it was funnier on the last play, the young back on that jet sweep, did the motion for first down, not realizing he wasn't. He didn't have a first down yet.
Yeah, you got 8 yards on that carry, so that was not a first down. Wing T formation to the left, fumbled snap. Wilson couldn't get it. I think they've been able to dive on it. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10, which hurts the momentum that they were starting to get going on offense. Number 11, Maurice Green, checks into the lineup. He may be checking in at that fullback spot. He plays that fullback spot. Machiavelli-Rozier has had a lot of carries carrying the load tonight, so Green will check in at that fullback spot. It's going to be Green, one-on-one against Howard. Boy, Howard stuffed him.
Nowhere on that play.
Yeah. Maurice Green's a big, strong kid, Tony, and boy, Mason Howard laid a lick on him. He did. He stood him up, exactly. Mason Howard is the leading tackler for this Trojan squad with 34 tackles coming into tonight. So not surprising there.
So you got 3rd and long. They did get a pass off. Would you go back to a pass just to see?
I think, honestly, if you really want to go here, you go on 4th down, and maybe that's when you throw the football. You see if you can get 2 or 3 more yards. They are going to throw it, though, Coach, and they're going to throw the same route to Pittman. Pittman on the sideline gets about 5 yards. Maybe more like 3 or 4.
See where they're spotting them.
Yeah, they're spotting it differently. There's one guy spotting in one place and one in the – here we go. It's coming back a little bit. So it's going to bring up a 4th down and 5 after just a 3-yard gain on the pass. So that has got to be, however, somewhat encouraging that they've been able to complete a couple of balls, some short out routes to the wing back in a double wing look. So Pittman's had catches of 7 yards and 3 yards, 2 for 2 for Jabari Wilson throwing the football. Deep motion, Lace and Anderson. They're going to go for it here. Taking a – oh, I hate that. That's just a bad – yeah, that's when you need 6 yards, you need to just have a play call that's going to get you 6 yards and keep the chains moving. They took a shot deep there. Now the interesting thing is they had a wheel route. And the guy up the sideline was open, but the quarterback just didn't hold on to it long enough to be able to make that route develop. There's a call. What's going on
here? He's talking to the people in the box.
Yeah, well, it's the clock again, and they've got it back to 4:28. So 33-0 Trojans. It's going to turn over on downs, and starting from the Bulldog 47-yard line again is Jaden Thorpe taking back over.
He's got a trips look again.
Trips look to the right, very wide. I think it's a run. That's how wide they are. Oh, it's going to be a throw to the opposite side. Seeley on the hitch route. Good throw and catch. Great tackle by number 24 there. That's Cam McFadden, and it's about a 6-yard gain on the pass.
And that's what I thought they would look at doing more is some hitch routes. Because they're giving him on the outside receiver. No, now he's come up some more, but they had to be giving like a 10-yard cushion.
Big cushion. Yeah. Boyd now working the right side around Dante Jones. He's got space down the sideline. One man to beat. And good tackle there. Boy, big gainer.
Number 12 saved that play. John Harden. That looks like B.J. Stewart.
B.J. Stewart saves a touchdown. The ball is at the 6-yard line now. That is a run of 35 yards for Kai Boyd. So a big carry there as he was able to outrun a couple of guys to the edge, and then Stewart is able to get the angle on him. First and goal, they're going to Boyd again.
And they got some penetration, but we're not able to tackle him.
Boyd, a 6-yard touchdown run, and there were 3 guys
who got good penetration, but they did not break down and get in front of them. They did what we used to call the Olay tackle.
The Olay, I think that was 57, Isaiah Daniels on defense, maybe 54, Damian Lyons. They had a couple of their better athletes, better players there to make a play. That's one of the things that drives you crazy as a coach. You get guys in position to make a play, and they don't make a play. So that one, that's a tough one there. Rashid back on to attempt the point after. It's 39-0 with 3:30 to go here. We will be in a running clock for the rest of the way. Rashid knocks that one through. He's starting to look a little more like himself. He just kicked it over the fence into the road. So here, John Harden up that big hill. That is a bomb. So Jabari Rashid kind of has his mojo back there with a big kick. This is a Hardin County Education and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunications needs. Whining Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. With locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, and South Louisville, online at physicaltherapyky.com. Winding Springs Luxury Living, located in Elizabethtown on Nicholas Street, now leasing brand new apartments and condos. Also available Black Branch Self-Storage for all your storage needs. Call 270-766-1155 today to make an appointment or visit windingspringsetown.com and blackbranchstorage.com. So Rashid will kick off, and the clock is moving. That is good. Usually on change of possession it doesn't continue to run, but this is maybe merciful at a 40-0 score already. That Rashid is going to kick off at 2:45 and counting. He'll knock that one deep. Anderson watches it go over his head into the end zone. Good decision there. And so the clock continues. I don't know that it's supposed to, Tony, but
I think it's supposed to stop.
Yeah, I think it stops on the change of possession, but then during the possession you're going to run it.
Continue going.
But nobody here is going to complain about that, I don't think. I don't even think the guys on the North Hardin sideline are going to complain about this. This one is a wrap. What you really, as the Trojans, want is to get out of here with everybody intact. That would be helpful.
You would assume after I would have even thought in this series they would start subbing out some of their defensive players.
They have all. No, they've still got them all in there. What most teams will do is even get into the third quarter for the first series. You'll have your starters come back on the field, and then you'll start to work guys in throughout the rest of the third and fourth quarter. Jumping off sides, number 55.
I know we got a false start.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 55. That's Landon McCollum, the sophomore offensive lineman there, jumped off sides. Again, it's just it's about youth right now in a lot of cases with this squad.
And those are the things that John should have been working on tonight.
Yeah, we talk about mistake-free football, and that's another mistake.
That's not what you want to be doing.
Rozier with the carry again, kind of stopped at the line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 15. Nothing doing on that carry.
About a minute left in this half.
$50 seconds remaining here in the second quarter as the clock is now running down quick. Deep motion,
Got a
toss, sweep. Number 16 has seen a lot of action on those sweeps as Derek Hardiman, not really much doing there, maybe a yard, but Hardiman has had some good success on those sweep plays when there's been a fake inside to the fullback.
That time they couldn't really seal the edge like you want to be able to then cut back inside and take it upfield. I mean, they just kept spreading them out. Yeah. Until finally the pursuit got to them. We couldn't really do anything about it, and that's going to take us to the half there, Coach.
That is the end of half number 1. Trojans 40, the home team John Hardin Bulldogs 0. We'll be back in 15 minutes for second half action. This is Paul Gray alongside Tony Menendez. See you in 15.
Hello, I'm Gina Ryan, Director of Hardin County Educational and Community Television, and today we are talking with one of our longtime sponsors, Mark Harris Construction. He has been with us from the very beginning, his organization, and through the years it's with apartments and renovations and real estate, of course, and now we are joined by Regina Johnson, who is the property management for two of the items that we're promoting with Mark Harris Construction. Regina, tell us first, our audience, a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been a property manager for about 15 years, and so they stole me when they started building these two properties. So
That's probably a very good. So she said stole, so that you are a high priority.
Yes.
In terms of getting you on board. The two properties we want to discuss is the Black Branch Storage
Yes.
first. So tell us about that.
So there's 339 units. We have climate control units, big, small, all different sizes. So you can store just about anything.
Can you pay by the month or annual or 6 months?
It's monthly, yeah, and it's gated, so everything is secure. There's an on-site kiosk where you can lease on site. There's no manager on site or anything like that. You can also lease online.
Well, that's really good with COVID running around
Yes.
and everything like that. So how long would it take to get a storage facility at that location?
In just a matter of minutes. You can just go to the kiosk, or you can go to blackbranchstorage.com and lease straight online.
Okay. And are those, I'm assuming that those fill up relatively quickly. A lot of
Yes.
people are needing those.
Yes.
So for those that may not be familiar with what goes into storage units, what are some of those items that people might put in storage?
Most people, they store, if they're moving from if they sold a home and getting a new one, they'll just use it for a few months, to store their household items. A lot of people store things that are just in their garage that they need to get out of the way. We have some who store old cars. And I mean, just about anything.
So I was going to say, it becomes, like you said, a perfect storage place.
Yes.
And rates are in the range, are in a comfortable range?
Yes, they're very competitive.
Okay, wonderful.
For sure.
And then another exciting part of Mark Harris Construction and Organization is the Winding Springs Apartments.
Yes.
Now, tell us where those are located.
They are on Nicholas Street, close to downtown, close to Highway 62, close to everything.
Okay, and what type of apartments in regards to bedrooms, things like that are available?
These are all 2-bedroom, 2-bath luxury apartments. All the finishes are very modern and chic. It's going to be a gated community. We're very excited about it. We have one building open so far, and our next building will be open sometime in October.
Well, and if you've been down Highway 62 and you look over that area, they look amazing.
Yes, they're gorgeous.
Yeah. And what types of amenities are available for those that will be living there?
We have a clubhouse. It's a huge clubhouse. We have one side for the office and one side for just the residents, tailored to our residents. We have a pool, and it's going to be gated, so we're going to be the only gated community in town. We're going to have a dog park, several other amenities.
That sounds fun. Now, are they fully furnished, or can individuals make them their own?
Both. We can have furnished apartments. We do a lot of corporate apartments for local places here in town. And then you can, of course, bring your own stuff.
Great. And how do people get additional information about leasing those apartments?
So you can go to WindingSpringsEtown.com. Or you can call 270-766-1155.
And is that process, does it take very long to do?
No, not at all. Okay. I'm very quick at responding.
Great. And are they monthly or biannual?
The
yearly?
typical lease is a year. We will do shorter term leases, especially with corporate apartments.
Oh, so there are corporate apartments.
Yes.
Okay, so what might be that added incentive for a corporate apartment?
It's cheaper than a hotel. And you have more room. You have a kitchen, it's like home.
As I mentioned at the beginning, Mark Harris has been one of our very beginning sponsors, committed to what we do with HCEC-TV. And without that investment, we would not be able to carry the live local high school sports that we do. Right. And we do close to 80 a year. And it goes back to when Mark was an athlete in this local community, and his children were athletes in this community, and he is really committed to helping with that. So being a member of that organization, what would you like to add about that?
Well, I think that the owners, they're locally owned. They've been in this community for a very long time. They're committed to the community. They're committed to the surroundings, and they love to give back.
Well, Mark Harris Construction is definitely the embodiment of being active and involved in your community and supporting those around you. And we always appreciate all of those supporters and our sponsors. And again, without them, we couldn't do what we do.
Absolutely.
So, Regina, for our audience, just to remind them again, and if you didn't catch that, it's Regina and Gina. The Regina and Gina show today. How can people get in touch with you as property manager?
The best way is probably by phone, 270-766-1155, or email. It's regina@windingspringseatown.com.
Okay, thank you, and wish you all a great leasing season, and also in filling up all those storage facilities and everything.
Yes, for sure.
So thank you for joining us, Regina. And thank you for watching our HCEC-TV, Brandenburg Telecom, live sports coverage.
Welcome back to John Hardin High School. We're here for second half action. It's 40-0 at the half. The crosstown rivalry owned, dominated by the North Hardin Trojans as they are obliterating this John Hardin Bulldog, this young squad here in need of a little relief here, playing maybe some competition slightly above their head. This is Paul Gray with you. I've got my buddy Tony Menendez alongside tonight. And so, Tony, we're ready for second half action. Any thoughts? I don't have a lot of thoughts right now, Tony.
One at halftime, they have to change whatever that defense was that they were calling.
Yeah.
And just scrap that plan.
Absolutely.
And go back to a base 3-5. And they may even have to go to a 3-4 with two safeties over top to be watching the deep pass route. And this total man coverage thing is not working.
I think if you go with a man under look with two deep safeties to help with the deep ball, it's not a bad plan. But all straight man is a really bad idea. They're getting burned.
If you're not blitzing,
right?
You have to
put pressure.
Yeah, you have to be blitzing to put pressure. You got to be getting pressure from your defensive line if you're going to do all man.
They made that one adjustment for one play that seemed to be helpful against the empty set. And you can see them as they're calling timeouts, the John Hardin Bulldog coaching staff, trying to make some of those adjustments. Obviously, they came in saying, we're going to take away your screen game, which is, I don't know, it's got to be 40% of North Hardin's normal passing attack. Good plan. But North Hardin saw that and has not thrown a screen, and they're just torching them down the field.
Yeah, but the issue is the lineup that they were doing to stop the screen was very easy to telegraph.
Absolutely.
What they were going to do.
It's given away right there.
When we did things against screen-heavy teams with our 3-5 set, and a lot of times it was disguised what we were going to do to stop that screen pass, and it just maybe because they're younger guys, and it's a lot for them to learn how to do all those things. But I mean, I think you need to start putting that in there, even if they make the mistakes, let them make the mistakes and learn how to play it right.
I mean, yeah, again, those are all teaching and learning experiences. I think it's hard to get those teaching and learning experiences, though, in this kind of circumstance where there are so many mistakes of alignment, then mistakes in just generally your assignment in the coverage. And then you got them in a coverage where, number one, you're taking a couple guys out of playing the run and also then taking them out of playing the pass because they're playing the screen and North Hardin's not throwing any screens. So you're playing with 9 guys in that look at times. Now, again, we saw them make some adjustments. I think we'll probably see some more adjustments here coming out of half. Layson Anderson catches it at the 4. He's trying to get the outside. Not going to happen. He is blown up out of bounds. I believe that was
flag there. It may have been. It's hard to see from our angle, but it may have been somebody hit you out of bounds type thing.
Uh-oh.
A personal foul.
Yeah.
But I did like what John was starting to string together at times in offense. They were trying some different things.
They threw the ball 2 for 2 for 11 yards. Obviously, that's not going to be a big part of their game, but yeah, I agree.
I mean, they were getting some stuff where they were able to run inside and do that inside run to collapse the defense, then pop outside. So they were doing some things that were positive, but I mean, penalties, a turnover, and then allowing penetration on some plays where they're tackling the back.
Those negative plays.
Those negative plays, you can't have that.
1st and 10 from their own. And there's going to be a motion call on Cavalli Pittman, who was leaning and then tried to act like he was going into a 3-point stance. That is going to be now 1st and 15. They were at the 25. Now they'll be at the 20. And 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10. So another error early here now. 10:41 and counting. We're in that running clock again as the clock continues to move here. We'll see what this squad can do. Wing right formation. Just running a power off tackle. Just nothing doing. 5-yard losses. 23 Mason Howard was there immediately.
I think the start of that whole breakdown was 59 just blew up the guard and just like threw him out of the way.
Yeah,
before the play even got a chance to develop, the line was collapsed because he just blew his man up.
So, again, when you're getting beat up front, like especially in this kind of attack where you're trying to run the football so much, you've got to have some success up front, and obviously they're struggling up front against this North Hardin squad.
Yeah, that was Cameron Reese on that. And there's
Good
a
run.
Good run.
Machiavelli Rozier going to run someone over. He might have gotten the first down. 2nd and 15. He's got it. 16-yard pickup for Machiavelli Rozier. 16-yard run. So that's that same X-Buck kind of look to the split end side there between the guard and tackle. You just get a little down block and a little out block. X blocking from the guard tackle, and you just run it right up in the gap there. Beautifully done. Deep motion for Anderson. Again, they're going to go right back to it. It was Pittman on the block on the one technique. So
got about 4 yards pickup, 3.
I'm going to give him 4 on the carry. So Machiavelli Rozier with 16-yarder and a 4-yarder there back to back. He had 12 carries for 26 yards in the first half. Now he's adding to that total. So with 20 more yards here in the second half already, and he's up to 46 yards rushing. So it's been Rozier, the kind of the bright spot, I guess. On their own 40, the right hash, deep motion from Anderson again. They're going to go right back to it, and there's Rozier again breaking it. He's got space. Run down. He's breaking tackles. He's inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That is going to be a 42-yard carry. Machiavelli Rozier on the first down. Woo. Ran one guy over, broke another tackle down the field. Good run. Are we seeing some of the extras, the second guys? I think we are for this North Hardin defensive squad. No A.J. Ruggiero, no number 23, Mason Howard, the leading tackler. So several new faces, new jerseys on the field for this Trojan squad. They're going right back to Rozier, same kind of play. It's going to be stuffed at the line this time. Number 66 was in on the play for the Trojans.
Got 2 yards on that run. And you've got
66 was Josiah Hope, Tony, on the play there, freshman defensive lineman.
Yeah, I think you got mostly non-starters on the defense right now.
We're at 7:20 and counting. It's 40-0 Trojans, and we're in the third quarter. It's counting down already in the third quarter. Jabari Wilson's going to give on the reverse this time, but space there for number 16, Derek Hardiman. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And that's Derek Hardiman on the 15-yard touchdown run. So Hardiman's had some good carries, even against the first squad there. He had carried the ball 3 times for 12 yards. One of their more, and you can just see what coach is doing, getting speed on the field. Hardiman really hasn't had the football in the first 4 games. This is kind of what you said as far as finding new combinations, new personnel to get on the field. Hardiman looks like a good option.
He does.
It's always good to have speed on the field and as much as you can get. So Hardiman's going to score the touchdown. It'll be Owens on to attempt the point after. Hardiman's a sophomore, so again, this young squad with some, Anderson, Pittman, Hardiman, a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there that are, this team's hoping will develop. And Owen will knock it through. So it's 40-7 with 6:06 and counting here in the third quarter. Good series for the Bulldogs. This is a Hardin County Education and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunications needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results, with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, and South Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Whining Springs Luxury Living, located in Elizabethtown on Nicholas Street. Now leasing brand new apartments and condos. Also available Black Branch self-storage for all your storage needs. Call 270-766-1155 today to make an appointment or visit whiningspringsdtown.com and blackbranchstorage.com. All right, so
And I'm not 100% sure, Coach. Is the clock supposed to be running right now?
it's not supposed to be, but we are at John Hardin High School, and I'm sure the clock operator here is trying to help things along here, and I'm sure that people in the stands are going to appreciate that. But, yeah, the clock is not supposed to run during that time frame. It's supposed to run during play continuously on changes of possession. It should not, like even right now, but 40-45 and counting. The referees are not going to complain. The visiting,
the refs are not stopping it.
They're not going to worry about it.
Not worried about it either, it seems like.
So 4:34 and counting here in the third quarter. It's 40-7. Home team is on the board. They have scored a couple of touchdowns on the season. That is the third touchdown score on the season. Good run on that one for Derek Hardiman, a 15 yards for a touchdown. Oh, high snap. Picked up, and again, we've got new guys all over the field for this North Hardin squad. I'm not sure who all we have on the field at this point. Quarterback is number 15. That's not Jabari Rashid, is it? What would he be doing at quarterback? The kicker, huh? Maybe. Am I reading his number wrong there?
No, you are correct.
Tony, I think it's number 15, Jabari Rashid, at quarterback. Number 25 is the running back. Number 25, maybe it's 26, Deontay Stills. Throw to the side out here. Good throw on the hitch route. Second down and 20 after the high snap, and is caught by number 81 for the Trojans. Who is number 81 there?
Kyle McDonald.
Tony? Huh?
Kyle McDonald.
It should be on this one, shouldn't it?
81.
81 on North Hardin.
Yeah, I'm on North Hardin.
Oh.
Kyle McDonald.
Okay. Kyle McDonald. I'm not. My eyesight must be so bad I don't even know what we're looking at. Rashid. Deep ball to Ronald Lunds. Catch!
And I was going to wonder if they went
Big
back to
reception.
that because on the play before, that post was wide open.
Ronald Lunds, I believe, is a no. Is he a freshman or a sophomore? Number 10, Ronald Lunds. He is a freshman. Again, I saw him in the 8th grade championship basketball game last year. He's a phenomenal basketball player, but a big 40-yard completion there. I don't think that's Jabari Rashid. Who is this at quarterback? That is not the kicker.
It's number 15.
It is. It's 16.
Oh, 16.
That's what it is. All right. Ooh, big hit. No wrap up.
No wrap up.
All right. Good run there. So number 16, Cal Kirkland, freshman quarterback. So Cal Kirkland has checked in at quarterback. Number 25 is going to be Ty Davis. And so that's who's playing at the running back spot is Ty Davis, number 25, Cal Kirkland.
They've got an empty man right now in trips. Okay, now they're shifting over.
All right, good.
And I would go to the weak side if I was North.
There's the screen to Lunds. Boy, 3 guys right there. Lunds beats all of them, and there's finally the 4th guy. That's Solomon Bennett, the senior, to make the play. So completed pass, but no gain on the play. So Kirkland, 2 for 2 passing. Good job, Cal Kirkland. 40-yarder on the first one to Lunds, and no gain on the second one to Lunds. Lunds has 3 catches now for 73 yards on the ball game. He caught a big pass in the in the first half as well. So Kirkland now, the freshman quarterback, a little high. Ty Davis trying to
get something, got maybe a couple on that.
Kind of jitterbugged up into the hole there, not a lot of space, and he didn't hit it hard. He was looking to pick a spot. So 3-yard carry. They're going to give him 3 as it appears on the spot. So Ty Davis in there again. Cal Kirkland at the quarterback. I'm a little surprised it's not. We've got another backup quarterback, and it's not Kirkland. I'm kind of surprised to see Kirkland in the lineup, but he's looked good. He's thrown a couple really nice balls. There's a good throw down the middle. That's a little high. Yeah, looking for Lunds again. They have another freshman quarterback. Darrell Loggins is the other freshman quarterback, number 14. I'm a little surprised Loggins isn't in there. Loggins is someone they really liked.
I got Jaden Thorpe.
Well, Thorpe is the starting quarterback, number 5. And
DJ
Loggins. That's Darrell. DJ Loggins. So DJ is the other quarterback. That's the end of the third quarter, if you can believe it, folks. That went by pretty quickly. 40-7 is the score here. North Hardin threatening again. They've got a 4th down here. Are they going to send in Jabari Rashid for the field goal attempt or go at it one more time and see if they can pick it up?
I think you go for the field goal here.
They might as well go ahead and kick it and give Rashid some reps, some opportunities kicking field goals. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling is a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff available for your recycling needs. Located in Elizabethtown on 31W, just south of exit 91 on Interstate 65. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrapping metal and recycling. E-Town Exterminating is a locally owned, family-run pest control company and has been serving Hardin, Meade, Grayson, and Nelson counties and the surrounding areas of Kentucky since 1976. Whatever your pest control issues are, termites, spiders, crickets, general pests, even moles, their team has the knowledge, skill, and training to safely and effectively eliminate the problem. Call 270-737-6900 or go online at mugabug.com. I'm going to keep reading even though they're kicking a field goal. Tony, you tell me what happens. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. So this is a 32-yard attempt. Does that sound right?
Yep.
Jabari Rashid on Lunds holding. It's blocked. Picked up. There was an attempted return there by number 24, who is Cam McFadden. I don't know who had the block. Who got that one? Did you see, Tony? It was, again, pressure inside.
It was on the inside. It wasn't off the edge. I didn't catch who it was on the inside.
I think both times they've gotten those blocks, it's been somewhere in the middle of the line where North Hardin is not holding up. So they're going to have to clean that up as they go into a big matchup next week.
Not to say anything bad about John, but their inside pressure is not going to be anywhere near the inside pressure of some of these other teams North's getting ready to face here soon. They need to get that cleaned up quick.
So 11-10 and counting, 40-7. John Hardin will take over here, 1st and 10 at about their own 16. Machiavelli Rozier again has got space. He is running loose down the middle of the field to the 39-yard line. That is going to be a 23-yard gain for Machiavelli Rozier. So with this second half and playing against some of the reserves, he's putting up some numbers, Tony.
And we'll see what happens the rest of this half. I mean, the clock is just running. This is going to be over pretty quick. But, I mean, if you're John, this is when you maybe try some things to see what works for you.
So, respect Coach Thompson right now here to just let his guys play and not get – a lot of coaches get a little bit perturbed when they see the other team running on them when they shouldn't be able to. They haven't all game, and a lot of times you'll see starters flying back onto the field. Not happening. Coach Thompson's going to let his young guys play even if they're struggling a little bit here as John Hardin is having success running the football, especially Machiavelli Rozier, who's well over 100 yards rushing now. He's got 87 yards here in the second half. Had 26 in the first half, so by my math, that's just over 110 yards rushing. 9:49 and counting.
Yeah, and you like to see what your backups can do.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's, hopefully, knock on wood, nothing happens to a starter, but to see how they react against another varsity player.
Timeout. Coach Preston for the Bulldogs. This is an HCEC-TV student production division of Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors: Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, Winding Springs Luxury Living, Black Branch Self-Storage, West Point Bank, and E-Town Exterminating. Tune in weekly for all local HCEC-TV programs airing on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Channel 184. All HCEC-TV programs on the HCEC-TV YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel today to get your local community sports and events. Special thanks to our HCEC-TV crew, led by Ron Hartley in the truck. We've got Kyler Barkley, Alejandro Dunaway, Matthew Goins, and River Perry. Thanks to our students, and thanks for Ron for bringing us this action tonight. Our trusty crew doing a great job for us this evening. 2nd down and 5, maybe a long 5, maybe even 6. And again, it's a wing right formation. Maybe it's still Jabari Wilson under center, giving to Rozier. He's put it on the ground. Oh, Tony, we didn't see what was going on. We were as confused as they were. That's some good wing T football right there. So they faked it to Rozier. Is that who you thought had it?
I thought he had it.
I thought he had it.
Well, he's been running like a dog against the
And
back
good ball handling. So this is the inside fake. The deep motion man there was number 16, Derek Hardiman. And Derek Hardiman, 43-yard run for the touchdown. Again, on that little reverse, we've seen them run that play about 4 times here. They're just setting it up by running fullback, running fullback, running fullback. And then when they pull the ball out, if there's good ball handling, and there was on that play, then it's very difficult for that defense to see where the football is. So good run by Derek Hardiman and good ball handling from Jabari Wilson. And there's another point, another touchdown on the board. Owen will knock that one through as well. So Jake Owen kicks one also up into the street behind the fence.
Now, I will give us a break on that play and missing it because we can't see the outside run from the roof. So I'm going to give us a little credit for missing that outside run because we couldn't see part of the run.
Some of it is a little obscure, but that was good ball handling, a good play there. And with 8:05, and as you look at the clock, Tony, they're letting it run here between possessions. It's not supposed to be running between possessions for the running clock. They stopped it for the timeout. That's correct. They're supposed to have stopped it here. Not going to happen here at John Hardin. 40-14 now. The Trojans in front, massively in control. Just because they've gotten it inside that 35 mark, that does not mean they stop this running clock. The running clock will continue to be in effect throughout the game. Once you get to 35 points, it is a running clock throughout. And so that's where we are right now. I would like to also thank NHHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NFHS.com today to subscribe. And Jake Owen pounding one deep into the end zone. We got some good kickers here. Case Van Bleinberg last week for Central Hardin was knocking them all in the end zone. Jake Owen here, Jabari Rashid, they're all capable. You don't see a lot of high school kickers that just pound it into the end zone, kick after kick. And so there is some serious talent.
I was always tempted when we had a strong kicker like that every once in a while just pop one in between the coverage because they're just assuming, because like if you looked at North Hardin's return team, they were just so relaxed, like they knew he was going to kick it deep.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they're letting the guard down a little bit. And John Hardin now feasting on the backup squad. Now, one of the things that I've talked about with Jeff as we look at John Hardin is you wonder late in a game how competitive a lot of their team being freshmen and sophomores. Now when they play against people their own age, a JV group, how successful can they be? Well, they weren't very successful against Barstown or Central Hardin when those second and third groups got on the field. Tonight, they're having a lot of success here. I believe that is.
We're seeing a lot of high snaps from that center.
Yeah. Good cutback, Ty Davis with the ball. Good Great. Almost everybody stopped for a second. Davis put his hand down, and boy, there's about a 15-yard run by Ty Davis. He got stopped 2 or 3 times and made a great run.
I was surprised there wasn't a flag on that play. They
out of bounds?
They wrapped him up around his helmet.
Okay,
took him to the ground.
It is 14 now. DJ Loggins in at quarterback. That's who I thought they would go to immediately, but now we have Loggins in the ball game.
Maybe they
here.
wanted to give a series to each.
Maybe, yeah. The other kid looked really good. Cal Kirkland was really impressive. DJ Loggins, also part of that 8th grade championship basketball team last year from JT Alton, along with Ronald Lunds. He's going deep. He's got a man there. Off his fingertips. Touchdown throw, just not a touchdown catch.
16
that's not Cal. They've got a couple 16s in because that is not the quarterback that was playing at number 16 earlier.
They got an extra 16.
They've got an extra 16.
They got a different 16 for the freshman or JV who's in there.
Okay. A little confused. That may be 46, not 16. Look at that because
maybe I need to put
maybe
my
it's 46.
glasses on.
Check 46 there. I think that's who that was on that.
Yeah, it was 46.
DJ Loggins now looking deep again. He's going to take a shot. Oh, and there's going to be a flag thrown. There's got to be. No, they're not going to throw it. He had a man deep. Number 19 was down the field, covered pretty well. So that was King Martin, who's made several good plays defensively at the corner in coverage against number 19 for North Hardin. It was, who's 19 here?
Christian Springer.
Christian Springer, the wide receiver on the left side there. So good coverage. It's 3rd down and 10, and they're going to let Loggins pitch it around a little bit, which I like that idea. I think Loggins can be a really good quarterback for him. There's Davis with the football again on the stretch play to the left. Man, he's close. About 8 yards maybe, Tony. 3:48 and counting. We're almost done here. What's going on? This
earliest I've gone home.
This is the earliest we've ever gone home from one of these. Ty Davis, a good run. 4th and 2, and they'll keep the offense on the field. They'll just try to churn out the end of the ball game. Try not to let that John Hardin offense get back on the field.
That trips look again.
Trips to the right. Looks like blitz might be coming. They're trying to draw him off sides. That was Chitwood that almost jumped. Ty Davis now goes to the left of DJ Loggins. Loggins is going to give to Davis on the stretch play to the right. He's got some problems there. He's going to lose yardage. Good play. It was number 21. That's Cameron Moore was the first man there and also got back to the play. So with 3 minutes to go, the John Hardin offense will get it back. A good stop on 4th and 2. Turnover on down. So with 2:53 and counting, they'll have the football.
Yeah, it looked like North was trying to draw them off sides was their initial goal to get that first down with jumping them over, but they didn't bite.
They didn't bite. Yeah, trying to get a cheap first down there and couldn't do it. Hustling back on the field is this, and they're short a player here. John Hardin's got 10 guys on the field. The wide receiver to the left, not there. Machiavelli Rozier straight ahead. And they had 10 guys on the field. There should have been a split end to the left side. Nobody there.
It looks like 23 was supposed to be out there.
I think
Make
Chitwood.
it out. So now they got 33 in.
Well, no, he's going in at fullback. 33 has carried the ball some for this squad already. 33 is Amari Simon. And now Chitwood will check in at the wide receivers. They had 10 guys on the field. It was a wing right formation. Should have been a split end to the left. Nobody there. Chitwood now will be to the right side, which means it'll be an over formation. He should be on the line of scrimmage. Don't know if he is. Pittman in motion. They're going to give it to Amari Simon. Simon trying to hold on to the football, and he loses it right at the end of the run. He's going to pick up about 5.
Yep. Well, even on that play where they had 10 men, they got a few yards off it.
They did. They sure did. Rozier had about 3 on that carry. We got about 5 here from Amari Simon. So 3rd down and 2 is going to be the down and distance. 1:25 to go. They're going to call this maybe their last timeout, but they're going to call a timeout, the John Hardin Bulldogs. Coach Preston will talk it over here with his offensive group with 1:15 and a running clock. The clock's still running. They've got to stop the clock here. You don't run it during the timeout. So Tony, John Hardin next week will head to Valley, and we'll kind of see who they are at that point. Obviously, they've been overmatched for 5 weeks here We'll see who they are within their own district play. If they can maybe, look a little bit more like this team we've seen here toward the end of the ball game than what we saw earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, and they're young, so they have time to develop over the next couple of years. It's a matter of can they develop over the next couple of years.
Well, and a lot of that, as you know, happens in the weight room. You've got to get kids bigger and stronger to be able to compete at this kind of level. And that's where it all happens, that growth. Some of these kids are kids, and they'll grow naturally. You've also got to get them a lot stronger so they can hold up in these kinds of situations. But, again, they have not had a punt blocked. They're going to Hardman again. But they haven't had a punt blocked. One fumble for a turnover. So one turnover, that's not great, but it's better than what we've seen from this squad. There have been several situations where they've had penalties. I mean, they have made those mistakes as well.
And they got some positive yards against starting defense a few times where they were able to, get a couple first downs and get some positive things going. And just build on that should be the goal.
Baby steps, obviously, at this point. Again, last week they had almost no offense at all until the very end of the game. And against Bardstown, it was similar to that. So, yeah, we're definitely seeing, against a high-quality opponent, the slightly better performance. Obviously, they're outmanned, which is the main factor here. But certainly we're seeing some better work from this John Harden squad. There are a few things to look at and say we're a little better. Now, one of the things that concerned us in the first half was the inability to get lined up defensively, make adjustments. Not on the coaching side, but you make adjustments. The kids have to understand what you're trying to communicate to them, and that's really hard when you've game planned all week and now you're making adjustments on the fly. Those young kids just don't have the experience to be able to figure that out. So 1st and 10 here. They're going to throw the football. Trying to go back the other way. Nobody there, and there's a sack. And
58, I believe.
Now the clock should be running, and it's not. So we've got a little hometown stuff going on here next to us at the clock. So now the clock's supposed to be running.
Treatment Mouse on the sack there.
Is that who it was?
Yes.
All right. What number?
59.
We'll see if he can do it again here. They're going to try to throw it again. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. There is a flag thrown.
You have to assume it's holding on.
Woo. 58 that time was in there on the play as well.
Face mask on Will Harden. I'm not sure what he saw.
Guess as the quarterback was being dragged to the ground, they had a hold of something. Jabari Wilson. Jabari Wilson was injured last week and didn't play. And you see him kind of limping right now. If you watch number 2, Jabari Wilson running, he is not 100% at this point. So wing right formation, 33 seconds and counting, and they're going to throw it again. But, man, there's just pressure all over Wilson. Wilson's going to get killed. You just got to let this thing run out, Coach. Yeah, you can't throw another pass play because you're going to get this kid who's already injured. You're going to get him killed. Won't be able to play for you next week when it really matters. 13 seconds and counting. Looks like John Harden's trying to hustle and run another play. It's not going to happen. They're not going to get this set and ready to go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It snapped. Good grief. They're trying to run a reverse to Cavalli Pittman, and Wilson again slammed to the ground, grabbed by the legs, and again, it's that leg that's injured. And that may not have been really a good move there. Those last several plays put their quarterback in danger again at coming off of an injury from last week.
More likely the coach called 2 plays after the timeout.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. So, again, we see the Battle of Radcliffe going to the Trojans, as it has for a number of years here. It's been all Trojans. Over the last several years. Again, that Trojan squad has been phenomenal. Again, John Harden has had good football teams in the last several years. Obviously, they are down at this point. Tony and I were talking a little bit at halftime how you have a couple classes where you don't have either the participation, kids don't come out, or you just don't have the level of commitment to the football program. And if you have a couple classes where you don't have those kids feeding the program, you got problems. Yep. It leads to this kind of situation where you've got about 5 or 6 upperclassmen contributing, and the rest of your kids are freshmen and sophomores. Just such a tough situation to be in there for this Bulldog squad. So the telling situation is going to be next week. They'll play against their own district. They'll play against people of their own similar talent level. Has this squad learned enough to compete in those situations in order to be successful, maybe even come out of that game with a win? I think Coach Preston has really got to do a good job right now. This, I'm sure, a very disappointed squad, but he's got to do a great job right now of getting them prepared for what's going to be really important. That's next week's ball game, which is probably either the turning point of the season or the death and burial of the season.
Yeah, and I think
one way or the other.
North as well. There was a couple of things they need to clean up some.
Absolutely.
Before they start pushing into the district games.
Absolutely. So, final score from John Hardin High School, the North Hardin Trojans 40, John Hardin 14. This has been Paul Gray alongside me, Tony Menendez. Good night, everybody.